I would like to try to explain to you why it's interesting for research to be involved in such an initiative as Half Double and Half Double Institute. First of all, if we look at the strategy of Aarhus University, you might think that universities are living as islands, but I can tell you they are not. So we have a strategy to say that we want to, of course, interact with society, interact with industry, interact with organizations. So we want to put research into practice and to get practice back into research and education. And you can say what we have been doing with Half Double is exactly doing this, putting from and back, where you can say the project Half Double, which has been running for 5-6 years and now continue in phase 3, is an example of an interaction between research and practice. And I think the Half Double Institute hopefully gives us a long-term commitment to working together. So I think that fits very well that research and practice are working together. And this is also what is shown on the slide up here, because it's important to understand that we have a kind of a win-win situation between practice and research, because theory and knowledge domain leads to practice and experience domain. So many of you has been taught at the different educational institutions, maybe universities, and I can assure you, you probably have taken something with you. Even if you say, I'm a practitioner, yes, but I can be together with you 5 minutes and then I can hear you have some mental models, some theories in your head. So probably there is something from theory to practice. But it's equally important that there's something back again, that we as researchers learn from practice and use that to generate new theory and new knowledge. So for instance, in the Half Double case, we have a lot of organizations been working with the Half Double methodology. We from a research part has been involved in looking at these projects. The research has evaluated, documented and disseminated the project results. We have published journal papers, conference papers. We have published 5 reports where we try to give back to you, say, this is what we can see from these projects. And then again, the practice community can learn from our results and work further on that, and we can have the Half Double community evolve and work on, and we can take this practice back again, and we can use it to give it to our students, we can use it to give it to further education and things like that. So in fact, there is a vigorous ecosystem between theory and practice, and that's sometimes overlooked. Sometimes it's seen as 2 separate worlds or 2 domains. But it is not, and it should not be, in my opinion. Then let's go a little bit back to our research results, even if they have been presented here. The overall objective of Half Double phase 1 and 2 was to define a project methodology that can increase the success rate of projects while increasing the development speed of new products and services. And it's interesting to see how did that work out. What did we see when we evaluated these results? First of all, we saw that 87% of the pilot projects has fulfilled or partly fulfilled the success criteria of the project. And coming from Jutland, I would say it's a bit promising. So I think it's all right. Yeah. That was fulfillment of the success criteria. If we look at to what degree have we been able to speed up the project to deliver impact faster, there we have around 69% of the pilot projects which has performed better than comparable projects in the same organization, because you need to compare things if you want to say whether you can create bigger impact. So these are the results, and I will be glad in the cafe to elaborate on these results. Then you can ask, what is the way forward from here, as I see it? First of all, I think that research needs to stimulate the diffusion and adoption of the Half Double ecosystem in Denmark, regionally, I mean Europe, and of course globally. And I try to disseminate the results to many parties, also outside Denmark and outside Europe. Then I hope that we can facilitate the international research collaboration, so we invite researchers during this process. And finally, and not least, we need to innovate within the half-double thinking. And I think the next step might be what we call half-double climate, building sustainability and agility together. That could be the potential next step. I don't know whether it will be phase 4 or whatever it will be, but there's a chance that it's there. So that's the way, as I see it from a research point of view, Michael.
Thank you, Per. So you showed some of the nice results of half-double, which looks promising.
Yeah.
How have other project management standards proven their efficiency? PMI, Prince2, other of the global standards?
I think the problem is that there's very few studies saying something about how efficient these standards are. There are some studies saying something about if you apply methodology, then you typically increase the success of projects. But they are typically not related to the specific methodology. So I don't know of studies which are so detailed or thorough as we have done here with the half-double methodology, even if you look at PMI, Prince2, Scrum, Agile thinking. But there is studies saying that if you use methodology, you increase the success. And there's also studies showing that if you use Agile principles instead of more plan-driven, then you also have higher success. These are studies which are available.
But of a more general kind?
It's a more general level. It's not been at this detailed, comparable level as we have been doing in half-double.
Okay, so how do you think, seen from your perspective as a researcher, how does half-double differentiate from some of the other standards that we see globally?
I think it could be said with one word, and it's seldom a researcher can say something with one word. It's simple. It's simplicity. No, that was 2 words, sorry. Close to each other. Yeah.
Simplicity?
Yeah.
So what's the simplicity that you see in half-double?
You have 3 principles, 9 methods, tools, and that's it. It's easy to communicate. If you want to communicate the PMBOK, you can't do it easy because it's so comprehensive. I think the same goes for Prince2, but I think half-double is really simple to explain, and I think that's convincing and it's compelling, and I think it makes it easy to get to onboard with the half-double methodology. So simplicity is the words.